1853 Enfield musket. Cabela's had a deal on this. In fact, they still do. $750 with free shipping, and I got another $20 discount on it, so I picked it up for $730 with shipping, and that's probably about as cheap as you're going to see them these days. Any new musket's going to set you back at least $800, if not $1,000 to $1,200, depending on what you get. So I've been wanting one of these for a while because the new Enfield by Pedersoli, they bought out Euro arms, and they took the time to correct a lot of the deficiencies with the Euro arms Enfield. The Euro arms Enfield was copied from the Parker Hale, which was copied from tooling at the Royal Armories for the Type 4 Enfield, which is post-Civil War. So it has several anachronisms that the Pedersoli gun has attempted to rectify to some degree, and we'll take a look at some of those when we get into it. But anyway, this is what comes. Comes in a larger shipping carton, and this is the carton that the gun itself comes in. So we'll open her up and see what we have. Seems to be in order, nothing busted through the packing. That's always a good sign. Got some manuals here. This is the first new Pedersoli that I have ever purchased. I purchased a second-hand P58, which I want to see if some of the issues I had with that are present here. So it comes with a nice DVD. That'll be interesting to see what that's all about. Firearm itself seems to be in good shape, wrapped up in plastic. A little bit of wear here on the hammer screw, where it's going through the plastic, but nothing significant. Oh, looks like the hammer is torn through the bag too, but I don't see any damage to the hammer. Pedersoli pattern 1853 Enfield musket. I'll talk about some of the things that they've addressed. For one thing, the Euro arms, for a while, they came with a polyurethane stock. I have a Euro arms Enfield, and they had put a polyurethane finish on the stock, which of course is not period correct. Also, the markings on the lock plate were incorrect. They said, I think it's a London Armory Company or something like that, and that was not a correct marking. They've tried to replicate here a Birmingham small arms tray Enfield, including the cartouche they've put on the stock, which not all of them the BSATs had, but a lot did, and so they've made an attempt to copy that. You have correct lock markings, including the dual engraving marks that are echoed on the hammer. The Euro arms had incorrect, badly styled barrel bands, and they've corrected these with the I'm drawing about Palmer style barrel bands, which are more correct for this style gun. This is a nice treat here. The sights that came on the pattern 58 were the cast Euro arms legacy parts, I guess, that they were using up. And I can see here on this P53 that we have a nice machined copy of the sight here. It's the correct 900-yard sight for the pattern 53 Enfield. So that's nice to see. That's one of the things that I wanted to see here when we got into the details of this gun. Another thing that they've done more correctly than the Euro arms Enfield is we have the correctly shaped swivel hardware here, correctly shaped. Same thing for the front swivel hardware here. That's a more correctly shaped swivel than what was on the Euro arms replica. So that's that side of the gun. On the other side here, we can see that they've also incorporated the correct square-eared lock washers. And on the Euro arms, they use the round-eared ones, which are a replica of what you'd expect to see on a machine-made as opposed to the handmade style lock washers, as I understand it. And also, let me interject here, I'm by no means an expert on Enfield weapons. This is just stuff that I've picked up along the way. I've got some friends that are real enthusiasts on firearms, Enfields in particular, who's filled me in on a lot of the details. And of course, I've been shooting in the North-South Skirmish Association for 3 years, so I've picked up some there. But I'm by no means an expert on this, so if I make a mistake, you'll just have to forgive me. Don't take my word for it. Another thing that's interesting here is they have attempted to mimic the period proof marks. And I don't know if you can make it out, probably not, but instead of the crown over whatever it used to be, it's now crown over DP for David Pedersoli, which is kind of neat. 25, indicating the 5.77 caliber, and a couple other simulated proof marks there. They're a little faint. They look like one of them looks like they're stamped into it, or probably cast into it. I imagine the breech section here is a casting. You can see the line in the bluing where the casting is taking the bluing differently than the barrel. So it looks like this 25 here is cast into the breech here, whereas these are probably laser etched. So it's not quite as what you'd expect to see for a true stamped proof mark, but it's a neat touch. The Pedersoli marks, the serial number, the Italian proof marks, they're all very understated, which I like. You know, some people will go to the trouble to grind those off or relocate that number to the belly of the barrel, but for me, I'm happy it's not stamped in massive letters, you know, like the Army Sports and some of the others are. So that's nice. The stock looks to be a nice finish from what I can see. Not an outstanding piece of wood, but very nice piece of wood from what I can tell. So, nice looking. So with that, I want to unship the barrel and see what we can see for the innards, and then we'll take a look at the lock also. So I'm going to pause the movie here, and we'll pick up when I get the barrel.